Interpreters on mute, so 1 second for them to catch up in the captions. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Director DeBerry. I'm the Governor's Office of Deaf and Hard of Hearing. I'd like to discuss a few of the logistics before we begin today's meeting. For this meeting, if you would like to come on screen for making a comment and signing that comment, we would ask that you have as plain a background as possible and turn off any virtual background filters that you may be utilizing so that we can see you clearly as you are making your comment. For each person to make their comment, we'll be providing them, or rather, there will be individuals who are making presentations, and we'll provide the floor to them. If you'd like to ask any questions, be you from the council or watching, you can go ahead and use the raise hand feature. Now, some questions may be a little bit more elaborate and require more time to discuss and provide an answer, and those can be maybe taken offline, and that may be up to the purview of the council. If you have any questions and you need any clarifications, if you don't understand something, then please do interrupt the proceedings to make sure that we all have access to the information. The interpreters may also be asked to clarify something, whether that is in sign or in spoken English, and they may also, as part of the interpreting process, make those interruptions judiciously throughout. We'd also like for those individuals who are accessing this through audio means to test their audio, doing so using their devices now. We will be turning it over to Tanea for roll call, and that is going to be for council members only. Then once that is finished, we will be turning it over to our interim chair, Mark Tesoro, to call the meeting to order. First, Tanea will be calling out names, and when your name is announced, please do come on screen, announce that you are here, and then turn off your screen. Tanea, over to you. Hello, everybody. This is Tanea Brown. I'm the Outreach Interpreter Manager here at GODHH. I'm now going to proceed with the roll call. Please, again, if you are here, turn your camera on. Paige Bradford, if you are connected, please come on screen. Hello. Thank you. Lauren Whiteman, if you could come on screen, please, from MDH, Maryland Department of Health. Not seeing Lauren here. We'll move on. Yolanda Dockery from DHS. Oh. Hi. Hello, Yolanda. And this is the interpreter, Yolanda. Your microphone was off.
I am here, but for some reason I see you spotlighted and no one else, but I'll figure that out. But I'm here. Thank you.
Okay. Then we have Tony Bridges from MDOT. If you are here, please come on screen. Not seeing Tony. We'll move on down the list. We have Cleveland Horton II from the Maryland Civil Rights Commission on Civil Rights. Not seeing Cleveland. We'll move on down the list. Kristen Patterson from the Department of Labor. Hello, Kristen.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
All right, thank you. Moving down our list, we now have Allegra Hollins, DHCD representative to the council. Not seeing it. Okay, moving on down. John Serrano is not here. Let us know in advance. John Serrano is superintendent for Maryland School for the Deaf. All right, then we next have Diana Yamada. Hello, hello. I do want to let everyone know I am Diana Yamada. I'm a deaf citizen of the state of Maryland. And Ms. Tanea, happy to see you here. Dana Hill, parent of a deaf child. Not here today, thank you. Next, we have Cassidy Brooks Flagg. Cassidy saying good afternoon. Edwin Martinez Jr. is not here today, so we'll move on. Now, Eddie's position is the specialized knowledge and expertise in deafblind issues. Next, we have Dr. Daniel Koo. Hello, welcome. Bo Bayoun is not here today. They are a citizen with hearing loss. Moving on down our list, we have Maya Williams from Private Agency. Hello, welcome. We have Kathleen Kramer providing special expertise if you're here. Hello, welcome. Next is Ursula DeBerry, our Director of the Governor's Office of Deaf and Hard of Hearing. I'm present. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Norma Moran, a citizen with hearing loss, is not here today. And last but not least, Mark Tesoro from the Department of Aging.
Thank you, Tania. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, wonderful. Now I will turn it over to Mark, if you'd like to come back on screen and lead this meeting.
Thank you, Tania. I appreciate it. Welcome, everybody, and most especially, Happy New Year. There's a lot of wonderful things happening in this group. It is a packed agenda, so I am not going to belabor any points besides welcoming everybody back. We met recently, but there's a lot of things going on, and I know that there's a number of great presentations and information to be shared today. So with that, I wanted to hand it over to, and I'm officially calling this meeting to order at 12:13. So if at all possible, I don't know if Tania, if you wanted to do your team building activity or go right into the presentation. Looks like our team building activity. Oh, I do. I don't know if that's the themed shirt. You have to let me know because I have my themed shirt on as well.
Yes. Yes, great. Themed. 1 second. So, Bible. It's probably my favorite book in the entire world. I'll pass it off to Ursula. Wait. This is Director DeBerry. So, picking what I'm reading now, it's called Let Them by Mel Robbins. So far, I have enjoyed it, so thank you. So now I'll be asking either two questions. New Year's resolutions, which ones have you made, and what may be your favorite book? It's sort of a popcorn. We'll go ahead and have people raise hands if they like, And once we have done that, we can move on to the agenda. Anybody who would like to raise their hands and provide their response? Maya. Okay, so for my New Year's resolution, this is Maya. I will start early in the fall, and my goal is to continue doing what I've done, and that is drinking quite a lot of water. I'm looking at 32 ounces every day per minimum. And the reason is last year I noticed that my health wasn't really where I wanted it to be. I felt like I physically wasn't there, and I thought I'd go ahead and challenge myself. And one of the things that I did was exercise, but also importantly, per my resolution, I am drinking more water. And today is saying this is a 32-ounce bottle myself, so I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I forgot the second one. And oh, thank you. My favorite book. Oof. There's a lot that I do love, but one that is near and dear to my heart is called Night. It's by a Jewish father. It's about his son and how they survived and were able to persist and escape the Holocaust. Wow, I haven't read that one, but thank you for the recommendation. I see Kristen on.
All right. So, my favorite book, I share the same actually as Tanea. Favorite book is the Bible. However, if I pick another book, my favorite would be The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. It's my favorite book. What was the other thing we were supposed to say? Oh, my resolution. Yeah, about that.
Yes.
I don't necessarily like to make resolutions, but more or less, what am I choosing to be consistent with this year? I'm choosing to be consistent with exercise this year.
Definitely agree with that. So thank you, Kristen. Who's next? Paige.
Hello, Paige Bradford from MSDE. Um, my favorite book is The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. It's a little bit of an older book, and now it's a TV series, but it's been my favorite book since I was in the 10th grade. And in terms of New Year's resolutions, uh,
Oh, Ashla just said, wow, that's deep.
I had to read it. This is such a different from what we're doing, but I had to read it in the 10th grade for an AP English class assignment, and ever since then, it's been my favorite book. Um, but in terms of New Year's resolutions, I actually didn't really set any New Year's resolutions this year, but I am trying to spend more time with family and friends. I feel like sometimes I get really caught up in work, and I tend
Mhm.
to let some of my friendships go by the wayside a little bit. So I'm trying to be really intentional about setting aside time for friends and family this year.
Yes, spending times in family with family and friends is always a must, and we definitely need to make sure we do so. Paige, thank you for that. On to you, Mark.
So very similar to Paige, my book that I'm reading now is actually the follow-up to The Handmaid's Tale called Testaments. So again, by Margaret Atwood, it's the next in the series. So I highly
Mm.
recommend that. And my resolution this year is to try to be more mindful and in the present, and not looking forward or behind, but just kind of being in the moment more. I just thought I would share that.
I do like that, Mark. All right, Kathy, I see you are up next.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kathy, and my favorite book is I know everybody, if you don't know this about me already, I have a one-track mind. I'm here to represent Alcoholics Anonymous, and deaf access to Alcoholics Anonymous. And my favorite book is the book called Alcoholics Anonymous. We lovingly refer to it as the big book, and it has saved a lot of lives. It saved my life, and it shows people how to walk through the 12 steps of AA. And we recommend you do that with the sponsor. So, my purpose here is to be sure that deaf people in Maryland have access to AA. And I only know two people who are accessing the program in Maryland. So we have a lot of work to do. And I've had a lot of health challenges last year. Um, so my New Year's resolution this year is to do more strength exercises on my arms and legs. So I'm a little behind time. I used to be very regular about exercising, but I've let it go, and I need to get back at it. So thank you very much for listening. Happy New Year.
Perfect. Those are great resolutions. Thank you, Kathy. And thank you. Lauren, are you here? Just wanted to check.
Yes, apologies. I was running a little late from another call.
Oh, well, we're happy that you've joined us. And don't worry about it. You weren't late. Would you like to add anything?
So it sounds like we're introducing ourselves and sharing our New Year's resolutions. So I'm
Yes, if you'd like to.
sure. I'm Lauren Whiteman with the Maryland Department of Health. I'm the director for the Office of Children and Youth with Specific Healthcare Needs, which is where the newborn hearing screening program sits for the Department of Health. As far as resolutions, I think my main one is to just try and exercise more patience, particularly with my children.
Everybody, including myself, needs to have more patience. So thank you. And thank you, everyone, for sharing your New Year's resolutions and also your favorite books. And again, I think in the interest of time, I'll turn it back over to Mark so that he can start off the meeting's agenda after this.
Sure. So thank you everybody for sharing. I always like Tanea's uh, team building activities. I always think they're so much fun. So thank you for putting some thought into that. I appreciate it. Um, I am going to take a look and ask if we could approve the minutes for December 5th from our last meeting. Hopefully everybody had a chance to do so and take a look at the minutes. So I'm going to open it up to see if there's any edits or corrections that anybody um, sees fit for us to make. And if there are none, I am going
Hey,
to.
Mark.
Yes, ma'am.
On the minutes, the date at the top, I believe it says June 6th in the copy that I looked at.
Oh, my.
And then for individuals that were present for that meeting, my name was left off of those present.
Well, thank you for catching that. I promise you they will be edited. Anybody else have edits to the minutes? Thank you for catching that, Krista. With those changes, is there a motion to approve amended minutes?
Mark, it's Yolanda. Let me turn on my video. I make a motion to approve the minutes.
So Yolanda Dockery
Yeah.
makes a motion to approve. Do we have a second with the minutes edited?
Lauren Whiteman, I second.
And that's Laura, is that, I believe, Laura Whitman?
Yep.
Perfect. All right. Um, thank you. All that approve, if you want to maybe raise your hand in the react button so that we know that you have approved the minutes, that would be great. That might be an easier way to do this. And I'm not sure if Tanea or Ursula or can see if there are, but I would imagine that we have a lot of raised hands and that they're approved. And I believe with that approval, oh, we have 6 raised hands. Okay. I don't know if that means that I hope that means that we have a quorum, but we could also pass it out electronically and ask if it's changed. Oh, good. Yes, Ursula says that we're good. Excellent. So thank you for approving the minutes. I appreciate everyone. Um, uh, the next order of business is approval of the current agenda for this meeting. So I don't know if that needs a vote or not, but I'm going to hold off until I can tell you right now that my chair report, since we have met fairly recently, is going to be very brief. Oh, okay. So Ursula is giving me some directions here. Thank you. So just a thumbs up if everybody's okay with the approving of the current agenda. I'm giving a thumbs up on that as well. So thank you, everyone. Um, don't have any updates for my chair report since I gave a report last meeting. So I don't have anything new to report, but I do know that there are a couple of really great presentations coming up. So I'm going to give my time over to Ursula and Tanea so that they can present their important information. So I'm going to hand it over to Ursula.
Okay, good afternoon. Thank you, Mark, for your report and turning it over and handing it over to us for the GODDHH. We'll present this and then Tania will provide her report. First of all, I want to go ahead and share with all of you a video that was made by our chair of the work group for the deaf and deaf-blind and hard of hearing. The name of that person is Dr. Leo Since, and that's his sign name. He created this video, kind of briefly updating what exactly is going on with this that particular work group. And if you could turn the video on. Hello. Oh, okay. I'll leave for the captions. All righty. Okay. That was a briefing from the work group for the deaf, blind, and hard of hearing. And that's the most recent update that we've gotten from last Monday, just earlier this week. My next item on the agenda, and I'm supposed, like say, if you have questions or concerns and you want to reach out to Dr. Leo Yates, we can connect you. We definitely can share his contact information with you. The next item is in regards to the sharing of the topic of our quarterly meeting for the Maryland Advisory Council on Deaf and Hard of Hearing. That would be this group here. Please do check the schedule regularly. Even though we do share, we've shared that before prior to the holidays. If you have any questions or concerns, please do let us know. Most people are, coming back from the holidays. We're getting back this week, and it's been a pretty challenging start, for January. So for today, this office is going. We're going to have. We're going to talk about preparing for the legislative session, and what we will be doing. We have already met with MDAD and their upcoming plans for the legislative session, and we can let them we'll follow their lead with the legislative 2026 legislative session. Our goal for this office is to provide as much support as possible during the legislative session. Next up, we would like to also add you guys, all of you, on our email distribution list, or the newsletter that goes out. And if you want to be involved, we will. We do want you to be on that, and that helps you stay informed on what's going on regularly, and what we're doing in our office. Some people don't necessarily follow us on social media, so a direct email or newsletter will share that same information and help you stay informed and keep you informed ongoing. I do notice that some of you do look at the emails. Any members with this, we're starting to see the invitations for the community, those who want to come to this meeting and attend this meeting, or my meetings. Like, for example, sometimes I do have meetings with different deaf organizations, or some committee meetings that I have that I attend to. For you, you may see that you get invited to show up at these meetings as an additional support from this council, or if you have a specialty to add to the meeting and to add to their support. For example, currently I serve as the co-chair on the Cultural Linguistics and Competency Committee under the Behavioral Health. That particular committee, I co-chair it with another person named Sharon McDougall. And Sharon and I co-chair this committee, the CLCC, and there are times that we do have different topics that we discuss. And I may ask like MDHH to come, or maybe I'll ask somebody maybe from hearing loss to come to this particular meeting, whatever that topic might be related to. And there are some things, that we're discussing related to health disparities, and some are related to mental health and behavioral health, and the deaf, blind, hard of hearing community. But it's just about us; it's about others as well. So we may need to include you. So that's why it's important for us to pull in people from this group, as much as possible. There are times that we do invite different presenters for these groups, and we would love to have you be a part of that. Speaking of the CLCC, that particular name that was recently added to or changed, the name has been changed. from the CLCC to the CLIC, and that means Cultural and Linguistics Inclusivity Committee. And we will start doing reviews, take a closer look at the strategic plan and health disparities for different counties across Maryland as it relates to that being under the strategic plan. I will oversee 8 different jurisdictions. With that said, those 8 areas are Allegheny County, Baltimore County, that's new, Howard County, Anne Arundel County, St. Mary's County, for their behavioral health systems, and then Washington County as well. Calvert County and Worcester County. All that will be for FY 26-27, 27 to 29, and to reduce those health disparities. Those reviews were sent to us for us to overlook and to provide whatever necessary feedback to help achieve whatever's impacting them, those special groups the most. And we'll call those like subgroups of people. And I'm looking, at their supporting data and whatever potential barriers and whatever ways that we can address those concerns. And of course, my area of expertise will be focusing on the deaf and deaf-blind and hard of hearing community. And so getting more information, and how are you finding this information? How are you identifying and collecting that data? And how do you know that about the culture, the deaf or hard of hearing, deaf-blind? So this year we are recognizing this office. It's a 25-year anniversary of this office, so it's coming up. So stand by and keep an eye out for plans that are going to be occurring this year. And we're super excited about that. And lastly, part of this report I wanted to add was what's going on with our work group from the governor's office for SBSLI, State Board of Sign Language Interpreters. That particular group has been held, and we're waiting to hear back from the governor's office as to what we're going to do next step. We do not have any updates on that as of today. They've paused their meetings for their work group, and as soon as we get any word, we will definitely share this out with the community. We always are, they're asking how we share this information with the community, but we will be keeping this council informed as well. This concludes our report. Any questions? Seeing none. So I guess we'll turn it over to Nia. Oh, okay, Mark, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I think we were going to turn it over for Tania's report.
Oh, sure. We'll turn it over to Tania. Thank you for mentioning that. All right. Hello again. Okay. So, as last Tuesday with the NICB meeting through virtual, and we all got together. We met a lot of new people. We noticed there are new people who are interested in being involved and studying. So we also, we're going to have this again tomorrow. We're having an in-person meeting. and that'll be in Laurel Branch Library because we feel like that's a perfect centralized place to meet. And so I think that's been going on for about 11 months. So we're going to leave that there, you know. So now we'd like to turn it over to, we're going to move it over to those who are interested and wanted to, you know, studying for their certificates so that they can gather and support each other. And so we're open for, if you know anyone, we're open to, they can reach out to the GovDHH. The study group happens on second Saturday in person every month. And then during the same week, that Tuesday, we do the virtual and then the Saturdays in person. So, you know, that's going to be open to more locations if possible. We're excited about this and we're seeing that more people are indeed signing up. We'll look forward to more of that upcoming. And as for the AGODHH Club, I know that we had mentioned that last meeting. We'd like to do like a hybrid or an in-person or virtual to get together and kind of learn about deaf culture and, you know, maybe socialize with different deaf people. And we will include the state agencies. For the community, if you're interested, please let me know. We'd love to have you join us. It'd be great to mingle and have exposed to the deaf community and what's happening within the deaf community. Okay. Well, we're still working on a program for deaf interpreters so that they can ask questions in regards to how do you become a deaf interpreter? You know, when do you pull in a deaf interpreter? When's that necessary? So we're working on that. And the deafblind too. Many of the interpreters want to know more about the deafblind, how to better work with them. So those are the few things that we're working on, and they're still in progress. I think I don't know. Other than that, I think that's it. As for SBSLI State Board, the Sign Language Interpreters applications, we've received that. Now that we're kind of holding, Ursula, like she mentioned, or it's kind of on a pause right now until after the legislative session. So I don't know. I think that's about it. All right, and that's my report. And we'll turn it over to Mark again.
Oh, well, thank you.
I'm sorry. Before we go ahead, does anyone have any questions? Okay. All right, no questions then. Thank you very much. Thanks for listening to my report.
Thank you, Tania. Thank you for all the hard work. I know there's a lot that goes into everything that goes on at the office there. I think next order of business is a legislative presentation by Ursula.
Okay. Okay. Just to clarify before we move ahead, Mark, do you not have you don't have a report? We just want to make sure for the record.
Yes, ma'am. We met fairly recently and I don't have anything new to report.
Okay. Thank you, Mark.
All right, so this is Director Barry. I'll go ahead with my presentation. One moment, please. Okay, I just want to make sure that everybody can see me. All right, checking in with the interpreter as well. Great. So now for this sort of topic report that I'd like to provide is a little bit about legislative session of 2026 and what we intend to do. Now, from our office, the Governor's Office of Deaf and Hard of Hearing, basically, we will be informing you if there's no legislative follow through, If we are providing support to the community during the legislative session because of that. So you will actually see as this presentation goes on how we will do so. So this is focused on this advisory council, Maryland Advisory Council on the Deaf and Hard of Hearing. For our 2:00 meeting, I just want to provide what's on the slide. My name is Usherla DeBerry. Next slide, please. Just a brief agenda for this presentation. It'll be about state government, volunteering, the monitoring of bills and how we monitor those bills within that system, and also the writing of bills. If you have any ideas for writing bills and you would like to do so, how to do that as well. Next slide, please. So here you will see the 3 branches of government. Can you guess which branch of government our office is under? Kathy, I see a thumbs up. Which one do you think we belong to?
Legislative.
I see in the chat you said legislative and executive is some answers, and I will provide the answers once we have further guesses. All right. GODHH is actually under the executive branch of government. Now, we do provide some relationships and support for the others, and there are budgetary reasons for us to be involved with some of their activities as well, most specifically the legislative. We also do monitor the legislative session, and we also provide some support to the judiciary as well, whether it be through MDAD, MCR, MDOD, etc. We also monitor bills during the legislative session those bills that may have some kind of impact on the deaf, deafblind, or hard of hearing community are where our focus lies. We might sometimes step in to check in with them, provide support as needed. We often will have a position or not have a position based on, again, what we are directed to do so, and also we provide that support sometimes behind the scenes. Next slide, please. Now, what can you tell me about what you know about our current governor, Wes Moore? What do you know about it? Has anybody met Governor Wes Moore yet? Does anybody know where he went to school? Does anybody know what things he likes to do? All right. And then we have in the chat, we're saying that undergrad, he is an author. Yep. So an author of The Other Wes Moore. Yolanda said she met him at a bill signing. Now, I read The Other Wes Moore a little bit, which I found quite interesting. I wish to know more about him. Yep, married and a former military paratrooper. My saying, read his book, writing the part about growing up with friends who took a different path in life while he went on to become successful. Kristen saying a member of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, which is one of the Divine Nine, if you are familiar with them. Next slide, please. wow, that's a bit small, so I believe I'll go ahead and sign the information. So he is a CEO of a foundation called the Robin Hood Foundation, and that was from 2017 to 2021. As mentioned previously, he authored The Other Westmore and The Work, 2 books. Hosted Beyond Belief on the Oprah Winfrey Network. He's an executive producer and writer for Coming Back with Westmore on PBS. And yes, a longtime member of the Democratic Party. All right, everybody, thank you for your participation in that. Now, who is his right hand, the lieutenant governor? Who can tell me the name of the lieutenant governor? Anybody familiar? Seeing some answers in the chat. Maya Williams, Aruna Miller. Yolanda is agreeing, Aruna Miller. Now, what do you know about her? Now, her name sign is Aruna. This is the way it's pronounced in sign language because of her beautiful eyes. Next slide, please. Now, what do you all know about the lieutenant governor? This is a very important role. Let's see, Kathy is saying the first South Asian woman who has been elected to the lieutenant governor in the U.S. Good. Any other guesses? We'll go on to the next slide. A little bit about her background. She is a civil engineer. She's a politician who is serving as the 10th lieutenant governor of Maryland since 2023. She's a Democrat. She's a former member of Maryland House of Delegates, representing the legislative district number 15 in Montgomery County. She's a very friendly lady. I have to say, as well as the governor, Aruna is also very easy to have a conversation with. So, this is what we know about them. But do you know what their priorities are? I would like to show you those, as I do feel they are very important. Next slide, please. Now, this administration, the Moore-Miller administration, these are their 12 priorities. And this is really how we make sure that our office is aligned with those priorities. Our decisions are based on their leadership and the guidance they provide us. First, be responsive. Be everywhere. Be visible. Be data-driven, because it's important. We want to know what's out there. So that's where we sometimes reach out to departments on things like department submissions. We need to hear from them. What data do they have in regards to the deaf, deafblind, and hard of hearing community? What are the most recent updates that they have available? And follow through can be difficult. Again, the concept of checking in and checking out, we always want to make sure that we follow up with people. Move urgently. Over communicate. I have to say, I love that one. Sometimes people say, you've already told me that. And I say, yes, but it is important that we over communicate. Be innovative. Be willing to work with each other. Learn new ways of doing things. Move with integrity and be audacious and be courageous. Challenge the status quo. If things can't be done, ask why. And of course, outcome focused. So these 12 priorities give us a sense of the vision of the Moore-Miller administration. Next slide, please. I would like to let you know what we're doing, be it supporting organizations, or sometimes we will have department proposals that we'll send to the General Assembly. If we have any ideas or concerns, we can share that between our we can share that with them between July and September. After that, it becomes a little bit more about what's going on within the department's agencies and office, and if they have any ideas, concerns. So first, if there's nothing that we are looking to do, then we look at volunteering and what that may look like. Volunteering actually applies to, for instance, if a customer were to show up in person, or excuse the interpreter. Just clarification, if a citizen were to show up in person, and thank you to the interpreter for correcting that, to be able to interact with the legislature on a bill. Next slide, please. So that's a very brief introduction of what it looks like when it comes to volunteering. But one idea is that bill signing. The first thing you do, you show up to the floor to check in. Sometimes you may arrive and see that there are a number of bills on the docket for that day. You want to make sure that you find where yours is. So always help each other out. Whoever's there and wants to be involved and participate with the bill signing, it's important to support each other. Now the second floor does have an accommodations team when you show up there. They will assign you an area to be or assign responsibilities for individuals who are volunteering. Now you may also see a board, and it will provide a list of the activities, or you may see that on a TV screen, which would essentially be an electronic communication of where we are in the current plan for the day and which bills are being signed. There have been improvements made to the system to make it more user-friendly as well. Because for those of us who are deaf and can't hear, when it's called out, there is an individual who is the floor announcer, and we may overlook them coming out to announce a bill. So oftentimes they will have a paper with the bill ready for which one it will be signed or which one is next, and that will be how they communicate with us. And if that is your bill, you then follow them. You will then line up, going to the second floor. Everyone goes through the queue. They give that sign in regards to which bill to the next person in line, and that would be a bill signer and escort. And that will tell you again where to go, where you are in the order, and which number is being signed at that time. The number will also be displayed on a screen in the GRR, the reception room. So people can also see that there. And you will see as it goes across which bills are being signed, who is behind the governor, or the individuals are there for that specific bill signing. There will, again, be in the picture when the governor is signed if they're standing behind him. Now, it's important to just make sure that you're in the picture and look up. They do have a professional photographer. Typically, they take a number of photos, and we don't necessarily know which one. So they will let us know when to look, and they will take a few photos. And also, there will be interpreters there. If there's a bill signing or not, they have provided interpreters ready and available for all bill signings for any individual of the community to show up and be able to access those. Next slide, please. Now, this one is, as I just mentioned, a little bit of information about the first floor. Now, it's interesting they use the gatekeeper as a word. This is the individual who will be announcing the number of the bill. That's the term they use, as gatekeeper. Next slide, please. Now, this is about the second floor, but I'd like to go into how we follow bills, how we monitor them through. We have a legislative liaison. Our legislative liaison is actually Diamond in our office. We will get a count of different items coming into our office. Diamond will look at that spreadsheet that we have to allow us to track the bill. And we will monitor those bills and what is going on with them as they go through the legislative process, if they are tabled or removed from the floor or what have you. Now, the next slide, I'm going to explain a little bit about our monitoring process. We use ABR, the Administrative Bill Review. That's a tool that is provided and helps us to take a position of support, of neutrality, or non-support. Provide comment and testimony. Now, for me, myself, my DLO, my Deputy Legislative Officer, now it used to be June Chung, but they have a new person. Hannah Dyer is in that position. That's our new DLO, or Deputy Legislative Officer. And that is who I always consult with in regards to any legislative bills that are in process. And of course, the governor's office as well. I interact and consult with them. Now, suppose we do have a response. There is a deadline for us, which is typically Fridays at 6 o'clock. We must provide our response, meaning that Diamond or myself will figure out what's going on that week, what is things that we need to be aware of. I'll talk with my DLO about the response to provide. Now, that account that we have that with ADR has a username and password that allows us to go into the account or into the system, see what's going on that day or that week, and stay abreast of those bills. Now, suppose you yourself want to know what's going on. Please do feel free to reach out to us and we will share what we know. We will also be posting on our website which bills we are monitoring. If you have any questions or concerns that you'd like to bring to our attention, please do email us. That's gov.odhh@maryland.gov. Next slide, please. So the question really becomes, who writes the bills? Does anybody know who writes bills? Is it you? Who would it be? Switching interpreters now.
So, Tristan, we're still talking about the lieutenant governor. Sorry, I missed your message. Yeah, she's from Montgomery County. She also just shares stories about this first day of school where she became ill, and she, yeah, oh, that's so nice. Yeah, Yolanda had mentioned about the bills, about who writes the bills. So the respective bills sponsor, whoever tends to be that sponsor, who is that? I'm asking you, so who tends to be the sponsors? Do you know who that would be? So just recently, I think a good example of this would be the beginning of my report. Um, Chair Leo Yates had mentioned he was contacted. He was contacted by whom? It was the delegate Kaufman. And so Delegate Kaufman is a sponsor. So it could be a delegate. It also can be a senator as well. And as far as the stakeholders, we are the stakeholders. This means whomever the people are from the community, organizations, that's who it would be. Next slide, please. And this is a good picture of where we are. So we are one of the coordinating offices under the office of the governor. Next slide, please. And this chart here shows the offices within our office. And so, again, so Maryland is not the only state that reports directly to the governor. Um, uh, Back in the day, New York also does that as well too. New York is directly reporting to the governor now. So we do exchange notes about their office and what they're doing, how they're moving along, what we're doing. We do share that. Some states have their offices under another department, and that could be maybe under the Department of Health. Some are independent entities. There's self-standing commission office. Next slide. And this is a little brief history. I won't go too much into it. Next slide, please. This is in regards to laws and compliance, staying and what we're supposed to do. And the next slide will mention who exactly we serve. Next slide, please. So we established the office in 2001 through legislative chapter 537, and that's under the General Assembly, section 92402. And this is why, so we are celebrating our 25th anniversary, recognizing this year as our 25th. So, so this kind of thing, it's a huge milestone. And we have to recognize it and how important it is to maintain this office or even further expand it. Thank you. Ted, you okay? Yes, thank you. I am. Okay, next slide, please. And this is our vision, and this is has been for a while. And this vision is that all Maryland citizens who are deaf or deaf or hard of hearing will have equal and full access to resources, services, and opportunities for participation in all aspects of community life. It's a work in progress, and it has to continue to be done and to continue the legacy of this office. Next slide, please. For this, so we also want to see the providers and the experts in particular fields um, and in general welfare of Marylanders, those who are deaf and hard of hearing. Um, when we want to add the deaf-blind community, because we do work with the deaf-blind community, and they do have a seat here on this committee, and they have a presence here. So now, let's say you have an idea, you may have a question, you're not sure who to contact, and you don't want to contact friends, or you have nobody to contact families, you don't want to contact this office or anything, and you're thinking maybe you would like to do it yourself and reach out directly. Um, how would you contact your representative? And do you know how to find your representative? Ah, Google. That's your best friend, isn't it? Yeah, Google is our best friend. Some people use the ChatGPT as well now. So if you Google it, you're going to find the answer here at the next slide. All right, you'll find this MGA, the Maryland General Assembly website here, and then you can find your particular representative. You type in your address, your zip code, and then you'll get a drop down as to who's your representatives here in the state of Maryland. Not that hard. It's pretty simple. And that'll guide you along for their particular email address, contact information, so forth. Um, and if you don't get a response or not available, they do have their chief of staff that will respond. Typically, they are very responsive. And also, so when I started in this role here, one of my responsibilities was because I had to, at the time I was acting director. It was required to meet all the different senators, and while meeting them, most of their answer was, "Hey, Ursula, who are my deaf neighbors? I have no idea who those people are in my neighborhood. Who can they be?" So, I see you, I'm meeting you, but who are they? Who are those? And I told them that we had 1.2 million, but where are they? I don't see them out there. Our office needs to be very visible, very present around, and let them know that the deaf are out there. So I need to be that person, and we can't be hiding. We have to show your culture, your language, show the hearing aids, show them that we're here. Next slide, please. I see in the chat there, Maya. You said 1.2 million deaf people live where? Right across the U.S. And so Kathy says that's only in Maryland, and Maya's saying, "Oh, wow." So now that data is from John Hopkins. That was 2016, and that data itself needs to be updated, and we need to revisit that and look into that data again. With that said, that 1.2 million, we include the hearing loss that has one in maybe even 1 year. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're culturally deaf. or meaning that they all know sign language as well. That's not the case. But that is the number that we're working with until they give us a newer number. And so I'm thinking it's probably going to be more than that. And Kathy, okay, so if there's the percentage of people that is alcoholics, we have the potential 100,000 who need recovery services. Yeah, indeed. We do use a formula for each county as well, and how we estimate maybe how many deaf people are in that particular area. That's right. And we'll be sure to add that formula in the minutes as well, so that you have a copy of that. Next slide, please. All right. So this is an explanation about the representatives in your area. All right. It says here that was my representative in the Maryland Legislative District 21. That's what it shows. It's state senator, and that name is Jim Rosapeake, and state delegate Rosapeake is Ben Barnes. And then also Mary A. Lehman. And then we have Jose Pena Mel. He was just promoted. Pena Mank, and then Governor's West, Mr. Governor, and then Lieutenant Governor um, Miller, and the Attorney General, it's Anthony Brown. And so that list will show up. It's Brooke Learman. You'll find your representatives and all those in that line of government. Okay, next question. Why is it important that you know your representative? Next slide. So if you're curious, and you're looking, so why is it important to know your rep? And there are reasons. Okay, hold them accountable, be heard, and develop that relationship with them. That's very important. Regardless, even if it's a six second contact or maybe an hour conversation, depending on their availability, the 60, yeah, 60 seconds. Sorry, not sorry, not 6 seconds. Sorry, I've had sorry. So it's 60 second. Yeah, that's what I meant when I said that. Sorry, that was interpreter error. Um, that's elevator mission that you want to tell them quickly. An elevator in a short time, like a window, you might only have a short time with them. So you want to think about what you want to say to them in that short amount of time. The next slide is going to show maybe an example of a letter. Um, say you want to send them a letter, you have an idea or something you want to state to them. Sometimes a first meeting is just kind of like maybe just a little. You have a short time to pitch something. Why this is this important idea. This idea is important. Why this concern is important, and then you can follow up. With the second meeting, and then hopefully you have more time and you can elaborate. Maybe you can bring further data. Bring somebody who may maybe having that lived experience. Those little things, you got to take baby steps with our ideas and move them along, and then and trying to work the system. Last slide, please. This is our contact information. So in my report, I did mention to include you as well in our email distribution list or into the newsletter. Or I know we do have social media where you can follow us. Any questions? And if you can turn the PowerPoint off, please. Okay, great. That's better. Thank you. Any questions? I will look in the chat as well. Mark, I'm saying, okay, in regards to the Maryland population, so we have 6.26 million. So 1.2 million, that's around 20% of all Marylanders. Yolanda says that sharing it's important that information that in regards to the county jurisdictions. Yes, you're right, indeed. Kathy say, will you be able to share those slides with us? Yes, of course, we can do that. Hold on. I thought maybe you had materials. It doesn't. Yeah, I can go ahead and send those again, and I'll include the PowerPoint, of course. Okay, and say thank you for sharing this important information with us. Okay, so you have any questions later on down the line, please, you can contact us at any time. You have full access to us, especially through Mark. Mark does work with us very often, a lot, things that come up, like Department of Aging related, Department of Health related. Mark is a great resource for us in this group. And of course, you are too, all of you as well. But just wanted to let you know that this because, of course, you can contact us anytime. If anything pops up, please feel free to contact us. Any other questions, concerns? If none, we'll go turn it over to Mark. Thank you, Mark.
Sure. Thank you, Ursula. I think it's important information for a number of reasons that Ursula shared with us. Um, as you can tell, there's a lot of moving parts to what we do. So there's a lot of processes and steps, and that's very much the way of government, right? So it's a little bit convoluted sometimes. However, once you follow those procedures and rules, a lot can happen and a lot can change. So we not only appreciate everybody um, on this council, but also all the folks who are advocates out there. And one of the reasons, Ursula shared that information with us is to become active and to participate and to engage and start conversations and not only talk to your neighbors, but also talk to your legislators. We can only do so much and we can only provide so much and bring things forward. But the voice of the people is what it's all about. So I did want to just add to that because I think that presentation was excellent in terms of trying to give everybody an idea of where this group sits and how the process is to move things forward and who to speak to and um, just what is required. So thank you. I appreciate that. Um, we're going to go over to old business at this point. Um, is there any old business we want to bring up? I don't know if it's old business, Ursula, but should we talk a little bit about any openings in the positions of the advisory council?
Sure, this is
Ursula,
Ursula.
Ursula here. Yeah. Just for the available positions, suppose so your term is up and it will be handled during our legislative session, 2026 legislative. The council group, this is a special group, so your appointment are handled during the legislative session. So, which means also, so let's say you're not interested in continuing You have to type up a resignation letter, or that you're no longer interested, stating you're no longer interested. And it's suppose you want to stay and continue with us, you have to go ahead and fill out this with the appointment office and reapply to be considered. As of now, the names that we have the website, this is what the appointment office has. If your name is still there, we expect that you continue to show up at these meetings. And we do track attendance for these meetings quarterly. And, you know, if it's so good, I know if I love this group, and we do have other people that are interested, and you recommend somebody, go ahead and email me, and I'll connect you with the person, and then I'll connect them with the appointment office. Um, see, I guess that's all that I
Yeah.
can say for now. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate that, Ursula. And I'm the interim chair, just so everybody knows, and I'm happy to be an interim chair. But as not being deaf, I am hard of hearing, but not being deaf, I just don't have the lived experience of somebody who has gone through a lifetime of deafness. So I'm happy to play this role, but we're looking for somebody to potentially be in the chair position that has that full, lived experience of being deaf. So just keep that in mind. Um, any other old business that we need to cover? If not, we'll go on to any new business, I imagine. So I don't know if we want to go, agency by agency, or if there's any reports out from some of the different state agencies or members of the group. This is the time to do that now. I'm going to make Tania call on you. No new reports to add from any of the groups that we have here today. There's got to be all kinds of things happening on 2026.
Hello, I am here.
Oh,
What's
good.
up?
So does anybody I know from our group, I'll start with my agency. We are working on a number of different tools to work with folks who have memory disorders. So my area is in memory and language. So there are tools being built and being put online in our office to help people better understand their needs, like a needs assessment, but also will be able to not only prioritize those needs, but also be able to um, provide recommendations and information and hyper local resources to help satisfy those needs. So that's an automated tool we're trying to um, put in place to kind of start to develop a care plan for people that have memory disorders. But that's my agency and that's what we're doing. But I'd love to hear what other people in 2026 have on the agenda and have coming up.
Hey, Mark, this is
Uh,
Kristen. Just wanted to share that at the Department of Labor, we're working with the Department of Disabilities to improve employers' ability to identify individuals with disabilities, deaf and hard of hearing, of course, to be included via our primary website that we use, which is MWE Jobs. Within MWE, there is a job bank. As always, uh, disclosing a disability is always going to be optional and not mandated or required in any way, shape, or form. However, if one does elect to have their information sort of like tagged, an employer who has the appropriate policies and affirmative action plans. There's a whole lot of legal stuff that they must have in place to be even able to extract this information from our site. But that is what we are working on this year, hopefully to get that functionality in place. Um, definitely within this calendar year. Let me say that. Definitely get that in place this calendar year. What else do we have? We are working also with the Department of Disabilities on their the legislation that was signed by the governor in the last legislative session for state as the model employer. And so we're actively involved in that process. Just, kind of had our kickoff a couple months ago. At the end of December, we had our first meeting on that. So really excited about being a part of both of these processes, again, to ensure accessibility to our services for individuals with disabilities.
Thank you, Kristen. I appreciate that. Anybody else have a report for us? What's going on in their agency?
Kathy, you had your hand up?
Yes. Hi. Hi, everybody. So I did add our special forum. It's free registration. It will be in ASL, LSQ, and LSM. That's coming up next Saturday from noon to 8. And if you don't know anything about Deaf AA, I would really strongly encourage you to come and just be an observer. It's really by deaf members, for deaf members, and professionals. And then locally here in Maryland, we are doing a state convention June 19th through the 21st, and it's going to be at the Sheridan North in Delaney Valley. And we are offering ASL interpretation. We did this very successfully in 2023, and we had 11 deaf members show up, and it was really encouraging. We were not able to pay the interpreters last 2 years ago, and sadly, they're not able to put it in the budget this year either. So, unfortunately, I'm the bearer of the news that we're looking for volunteer interpreters. It's quite a Jenga moving parts schedule to find to make this entire convention accessible for deaf people. There's at least 20 workshops every day and 15 main events. So we have to be semi-selective, and we have the age-old problem of not having it in our budget. So I have been working strongly with them to get it in the budget this year, but that failed. I'm hoping that with stronger attendance, we might be able to get it in the budget next year. So more will be revealed on all of that, but I wanted to push that notice out that we are trying to be as accessible to Deaf AA as possible under the constraints that we have. Putting on a convention is not what it used to be. Pre-pandemic, it was, like a $30 for the weekend, but food has gone up, lodging has gone up, and I'm not making excuses for them. I think this ASL is important, but I'm not on the finance committee. So thank you very much. Thank you for listening to me. Have a great weekend. Thank you. It's good to be here. It was a good meeting.
Any report from, and I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but.
And this is Tanae. I
Oh,
just want to let
great.
you know that Bo is not here at this time, so there wouldn't be the topic of dental. Kathy, was there anything else or maybe if people had questions for you, Kathy, would you be open to entertaining them? Any questions
Yes.
for Kathy? Seems like we have no other new business, and I don't see any questions for you. Yep, no more new business. Thank you, Kathy.
The next item on the agenda is announcements. Do we have announcements from any, actually from Ursula and her team? Are there announcements for your office that you need us to be aware of? And then we'll go around the room.
And there are no announcements from our office.
Any other announcements from the team? Anything going on that we should be aware of? All right. Well,
So I do want to let you know there is one big event happening tomorrow, which is our NCBI from noon to 1. That's our second Saturday. It's at the Lauren Branch Library. And that's where everyone can get together to study for both the knowledge and the performance portions of the certification for sign language interpreters test. If any deaf individuals would like to come as well and practice with their hearing future colleagues potentially, please do join us. Thank you.
would this be the point of public comment at all or no?
Well, really quick, I did want to show one last thing. This is Tanea again. Again, just let me pull up the calendar. Just give me about a few minutes, just a few minutes.
No problem. And with Tania pulling up the calendar, maybe we'll just jump right over to if there's any public comments at the moment, and then we go back. If she needs more than a minute or so. Oh, there she is. Never
Yeah,
mind.
before we move on to those
That's
public comments,
great.
I did find, if you're interested in finding events that the Governor's Office of Deaf and Hard of Hearing is attending to, you can look at our homepage. So that information is current. You can look at the calendar as well. You can share with the Governor's Office of Deaf and Hard of Hearing calendar, our shared calendar, and then also with the Deaf Cultural Library, DCL. There's also the Maryland Deaf Community Center. We all share the same calendar. These again for any events, workshops, etc. Like Kathy just mentioned, we are AA looking to recruit more individuals who may be interested in going to the convention. That would be another place that you could see that. And you'll see on the left-hand side of the column, you'll see those events in the calendar. So you click on that, open up the hyperlink. Unfortunately, that didn't work. 1 second. There we are. So you can see this here in a calendar view for the month of January, all the different events. Now, Kathy, your organization, if you'd like to partner with us to get your information there, please do. We can make sure that we share all of these pertinent events, whether it be from any organization of the deaf, any businesses that may be hosting deaf-centric or community-centric events. Please let us know. We can share it on this calendar. For example, this here, it provides a little bit about the topic of the ASL Hangout in this instance. So it's a little bit of a free advertisement if you'd like. Looking at this next thing. Gosh, where was it? I can't find what I was specifically looking for. Huh. I swear it was there.
Tania, can you, if somebody wanted to add, do they just contact you, or are they able to add right into the calendar?
So that is a very good question, Mark. I appreciate that. You will need to go to the Deaf Cultural Library, where you see the events programming there. You'll type out the information. And actually, you know what? Yeah, go ahead and reach out to us and I can send you instructions. That might be easiest. Because it is not a calendar that you can add any event to yourself, but you can add it via that form. We do strongly encourage people to do so and do reach out if you would like to go ahead and get information on how to do so. Al, I see your hand is up. Sunny, if you can go ahead and turn your camera on. Hi, Al. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too. My name is Al Sonistrol, and speaking of announcements that you had mentioned, I know there's another important meeting tomorrow afternoon in Frederick. They're going to have a town hall meeting, and that's for the deaf community in the Frederick area, to meet with the local delegates, representatives, etc., to discuss the needs for the deaf people in this particular area. We plan to talk about some of the issues related to aging, things that you've already covered. It would be nice if some of you could actually attend and represent the deaf community as well. They informed me that they've never had a deaf town hall meeting. It's always been a town hall meeting for 9 groups, like the Black or Hispanic groups, those different particular, but they've never had a group for the deaf. So one delegate, had mentioned that maybe we should have deaf town halls. So we're going to have our very first town hall meeting for the deaf people in the Frederick area. So it's going to be nice if you can attend. It's going to be the Maryland School for the Deaf elementary school cafeteria. And it's going to be from 1 to 4 o'clock. See you there.
This is Tanea. Just to clarify, in Frederick, correct?
Yep, in Frederick. Yep.
Is 1 to 4 on Saturday?
Yep, tomorrow afternoon.
Not the Maryland Community Center. They're sponsoring it, right? But it's going to be hosted at the school.
No, it's for the deaf community in general. It's not in regards to MDHC. It's for the deaf community in general.
And anyone can come and attend to the event?
Yep. Anybody, anything related to deaf issues, not only deaf, but like we're going to talk about taxes, dental plans for deaf people, hospitalization, medical, anything in regards to the deaf. And that would include MDCC as well. But it's not only about the MDCC.
Thank you for sharing that announcement, Al. I appreciate it.
And interesting, you could put it on the calendar there too. The DCDC.
Yes.
Looking there, there's no announcement for tomorrow's event.
So I did look at DCDL, their page, and looking at the calendar. It does look like it hasn't quite been updated. But I'm looking at their calendar, I see it, but not on the events one. So
Yeah,
the events programming has it, but not the calendar that we're sharing.
I think we should add it. Yeah, please do. If you could look into it, please.
Great. I will double check on the town hall.
Anything else? No, that's good.
No, thank you for sharing your announcement.
Great job. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Are there any other questions or public comments at this time? All right. Turning it back over to you, Mark.
Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I believe we are at the end of our agenda, unless I am forgetting anything. One last call for announcements or public comment.
And when would the next meeting be? Do we know?
I don't. March? I know it's March. I think.
Oh, all right.
Hang on. I thought it was March 6th. Thank you.
There you go, Mark. That's it.
Well, thank you.
And can you announce what the topic will be for said meeting?
I am not aware of it. I am going to leave that to the office if they have thoughts on what the topic will be.
So it'll be, what's your favorite quote?
Got it. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, favorite quote.
Keep that in mind. We'll think about that between now and March 6th, what your favorite quote is. Maybe something you put in your yearbook when you graduated. Thank you,
Oh, there you
everybody.
go.
Thank you, everybody, for your attention
Yeah,
and for
and I
participating.
would
Oh,
also sorry,
no,
Mark.
no,
I'd
go
like to
ahead, go
say
ahead,
from the
please.
office, I would like to thank everybody for attending and tuning into this meeting.
Absolutely. We can't do this without you. So very much appreciate everybody's attention. And remember to participate as much as you can and appreciate all of your help. So have a great rest of your day and thank you for participating today. And with that, we're closing the meeting at, I believe, 3:52 from my, hang on. Oh, take care, everybody. 3:52 from my clock down here.
Yeah, and sorry, Kathy just popped up on screen, Mark.
Yeah, did you have a question, Kathy? Oh, no. Okay, I think she was waving goodbye. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Ah,
Have a great day,
all right,
everybody.
bye.
Take care.
Thank you to the interpreters, and thank you to our carpet fire, Claire. Thank you, everybody. Bye now. And yes, this day, have a great new year.